Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'd like to welcome all the devotees. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue with the 8th canto. We're on chapter 6, very exciting times. So this is one of the verses in the chapter we can read. Yathagni amritam cha goshu Bhuvyanamamu buddhyamane cha vritam Yoge manusya dhiyanti tvam Guneshu buddhya kavayo vadanti. Runa, would you like to read?
Oh, Prabhuji, as one can derive fire from wood, milk from milk, bag of cow, food grains and water from the land, and prosperity in one's livelihood from industrial enterprises. So by the practice of bhakti yoga, even within this material world, one can achieve your favor or intelligently approach you. Those who are poised all affirm this. Hare.
So just like we can get different things from different, different rewards from different things from the Supreme Lord as well, when we worship Him, we can, through bhakti, we can also become favorably inclined towards Him, and He becomes favorably inclined towards us. Very important. So, chapter is the demigods and the demons declare a truce. This chapter is describing how the Lord appears before the devatas when they offer Him their prayers, and He advises him something a little bit unusual. Normally, He would pacify them and tell them, "Don't worry, I'll come and deal with the demons." But this time He said something a little different. He said, you should execute a truce with the demons. And there's a very big advantage for you to do that because you can churn the nectar from the ocean. So what happens, if you recall, the demons had defeated the demigods. So they had approached Lord Brahma, and together they prayed to Lord Hari, Lord Vishnu. Because of the prayers offered by the demigods in the previous chapter, Lord Shirodakshay Vishnu was pleased with the demigods, and thus he appeared before them. The demigods were almost blinded by the transcendental bodily effulgence resembling 1,000 rising suns. This is really incredible. At first, therefore, they could not even see any part of his body. After some time, however, when Brahma and Shiva could see the Lord's beautiful lotus-like face, his cheeks adorned with earrings, his flower garlands, ankle bells on his legs. They then immediately fell to the ground, offering their obeisances, and began to offer the Lord prayers. So this is a little idea. Not exactly sure where this picture comes from, but this is the Lord appearing, and it's very, very bright effulgence around him. And really only Brahma and Shiva, even initially they couldn't see the Lord, but eventually the Lord allowed them vision. And we've got a little description here of what they saw. Brahma and Shiva saw the crystal eye personal beauty of the Supreme Lord.
Swacham Marakata Shwayam.
His blackish body resembled a Marakata gem.
Ganjapa Garbha Runekshanam.
His eyes are reddish like the depths of a lotus.
Tapta Himavada Tatena Lashat Koshaya Vasasa.
His yellow silken garments are like molten gold.
Pasana Charu Swarang Vangim.
His entire body is attractively decorated.
Sumukhim Sundara Bruvam.
His smiling face and eyebrows are beautiful.
Mahamani Kiritena.
His crown is decked with valuable jewels.
Keyurabhayam Chabushitam.
He's decorated with all kinds of ornaments.
Karna Bharana Nirbhata Kapolo Shri Mukhambujam.
His beautiful earrings illuminate the cheeks of his beautiful lotus face.
Kanchi Kallapavalaya
He wears a belt on his waist, bangles on his arms.
Haranipura Shobhitam
He is adorned with necklaces and anklets.
Kastubha Varanam Lakshmin
He wears the Kastuba gem and carries Lakshmi.
Viviratim Vanamalinim
He moves with beautiful flower garlands.
Sudarshanati Swastrer
He bears his weapons like Sudarshan's disc and club.
Mutimate Upashitam.
He is worshipped in his original form. Well done. The demigods offered obeisances upon seeing the Lord's beautiful form. So this is a really phenomenal explanation of his beauty. And meditating on this actually can help us become close to the Lord. So they offered prayers. Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being beyond birth and death, is eternal. He has no material qualities. He is the ocean of unlimited auspicious qualities. He is subtler than the most subtle. He is invisible, and his form is inconceivable. He is worshipable for all the demigods. So Brahma continued, innumerable universes exist within his form. And therefore, he is never separated from these universes by time, space, or circumstances. He is the chief and the pradhan, that's the unmanifested. He is the beginning, middle, and the end of material creation. The Supreme Lord controls the entire material manifestation through his subordinate agent, Maya, the external energy. But he is always the master of material energy. The Supreme Lord in his various forms is always present, even within this material world. But the material qualities cannot touch him. You know the purpose for which we have come. Please give us the means of deliverance. So this is the prayer by Lord Brahma. And then the Lord advises. When offered the prayers by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, the Supreme Lord was pleased. Thus he gave appropriate instructions to all the demigods. The Supreme Lord, who is known as Ajita, unconquerable, advises the demigods to make a peace proposal to the demons, so that after formulating a truce, the demigods and demons could churn the ocean of milk. The rope would be the biggest serpent. So to churn, you need a rope. So they will ask Vasuki, the biggest serpent. And the churning rod, something that's plonked onto the ocean, will be the Mandara mountain. And then the Lord advises poison would also be produced from the churning, but it would be taken by Lord Shiva. So there would be no need to fear it. Many other attractive things would be generated by the churning. But the Lord warned the demigods not to be captivated by such things. Nor should the demigods be angry if there was some disturbance. So this is all advice given to the demigods. Amazing advice. After advising the demigods in this way, the Lord disappeared from the scene. So they make the truce, following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They return to their abodes. They're actually above these things. They don't really fight with the demigods so much, the demons. And the demigods approached Maharaj Bali. So Maharaj Bali was the chief of the demons. And he was very diplomatic. He knew when to make peace. His commanders wanted to kill the demigods. But Bali said, no. They haven't come with a military attitude. Let them speak. So this is a good example. Even when enemies come to their opponent's place, our opponent's place, we should receive them in such a way they forget any animosity between the two parties. There's another example in Krishna Lila when Bhim, Arjun, and Krishna went to the place of Jarasandha. So Jarasandha picked Bhim to fight. So they would fight all day. But in the evening, they would have a meal together as if they were the best of friends. So it's really, this is Kshatriya spirit. Anyway, the demigods sat near Bali Maharaj, and they pleased him with mild words. Then Indra politely submitted all the proposals he had heard from Lord Vishnu, and all the demons accepted the proposals. Political diplomacy and cheating propensity in individual and social negotiations are also present in the higher planets. The demigods thought that they could take, so the demons thought that they could take the nectar produced from the churning. So they also knew that there would be nectar coming out of this ocean, and they would defeat the demigods and steal away the nectar, because the demigods were already weak. And of course, the demigods had a similar intention. The only difference, of course, is that the Supreme Lord is on the side of the demigods, whereas the demons don't care about the Lord. So they made the agreement, and they together wanted to produce this nectar. So what happened? Both the demons and the demigods started for the ocean. They took Mandara mountain with them. This is one big mountain. So they had a lot of strength, but the mountain was very heavy. And the demons and demigods became tired, and some of them actually died. Then the Supreme Lord Vishnu appeared there on the back of his carrier, Garud. And by his mercy, he brought these demigods and demons back to life with his glance. The Lord then lifted the mountain with one of his hands and placed it on the back of Garud. He also got on the back of Garud and went to the ocean of milk, surrounded by the demigods and the demons. This is a little idea of what happened. So the Lord gave them back their lives to the demigods and demons who died. And he lifted the mountain, put it on the back of Garud. So Garud, we can see, is a very powerful personality. And the Lord even got on him. The omnipotent Lord makes countless planets with many mountains, which float in outer space. Then why would it be difficult for him to lift a mountain, just lift a mountain? The atheist may say this is mythology. Often you hear that, especially you hear that from our own Hindu community. This is mythology, or they're idols. But actually it's not mythology. These are pastimes of the Lord. He can do anything he wants. And the devotees faithfully accept it. The Lord was carried to the spot of the churning by Garud, who placed the mountain near the sea. Then the Lord asked Garud to leave that place, because as long as Garud was present, Vasuki would not come there. So they invited the snake, but the eagle likes to eat the snake. So Garud is not a vegetarian. He likes to eat snakes. So Vishnu had to tell him, you go. If you stay here, Vasuki ain't gonna come. So he couldn't tell Garud to stop his natural instincts. His natural instincts are the natural instincts. So very interesting, this very, very interesting pastime. Oh, so that's the end of chapter 6. Any questions? Any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Karuna.
Chitra is asking a question. What could be the size of Guru?
He can become as big as he wants and as little as he wants as well. His body is very flexible. Very, very, very flexible.
So he just like
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Maji.
Yes, Hare Krishna all. So it's just like Hanumanji, when he wants, he will just expand his body. And when he doesn't, he just come back to his normal size, depending on the task of the Lord, whatever they have to, whatever task they have to perform for the satisfaction of the Lord. So they will make that kind of body. So I have a question, not from me, from one of my students. He is asking, why does Lord Vishnu always carry the 4 paraphernalias like Padma, Shankha, Gada, and why? So I could explain only one thing which I know. The lotus flower is the one that Gajendra offered him. He's always carrying that one. But the rest, I don't know why he carries.
So is that the one that Gajendra actually gave him? He's carrying
Yes.
that one, huh? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
he carries that one.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. That's interesting. Very good. That's good to know. Very good to know. Why does he carry the gada? Give the demons a thump.
Okay.
The chakra is the same. Chakra is
Yes.
to protect the devotees, because he used the chakra against Durvasa Muni.
Yes.
protect
Yes.
the
In the
Ambrish.
Leela of Ambrish Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what is the other thing? Chunk.
Shankar.
And Shishupal as well.
Shishupal. Yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
yes.
That's right. That's right.
Prabhuji, for blowing in battlefield, Panchadin.
Yeah, because
Yes.
what does the blowing do, Riyansh? What is the blowing? Huh?
It makes fears in the heart of the demons.
Fear in the,
And
but
joy,
more
and joy
important,
in the heart of the
purifies.
devotees.
Purifies, and it's auspiciousness. That's why we blow the conch.
Prabhuji, I want to tell something.
Yes, go for it.
When the Pandavas blow their respective conches, the Kauravas' heart was broken.
Hearts
That
were
they
broken.
thought that the Pandavas would only win.
That's it. Very good. So yeah, it brings fear into the hearts of the demons, but actually it creates auspiciousness. So
Prabhuji.
yes.
Yeah. There is something when the battle starts, they blow their conches. So it means like they started the war.
It's like the arti, isn't it? When we blow the conch, we start the arti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Same thing. It's the battle against Maya when you're doing arti. All right. Okay. Let's go into number 8. 7.
Prabhuji, you can go to chapter 7.
Thank
I'm
you.
very interested.
You like this, don't you? Okay. Go on, Riyaj.
People in general, being bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are always engaged in animosity toward one another. But devotees, even at the risk of their own temporary lives, try to save them.
So this is the thing. You know, we've been discussing about how in the case of Gajendra, there was that fight with the crocodile, and the demigods just watched, right? And we know if they hadn't watched, and then Vishnu wouldn't have come. But actually the devotee's duty is to protect. Bhishma, actually his duty was to protect. He didn't do it. The demigods didn't do it when they were looking at Gajendra. But actually the devotees, if we can, we have to always help. Always help. If we see a situation where we can make a difference to somebody, we must make that difference. Don't be on the sideline. Don't be on the sideline. Just like Brahma and Shiva, the demigods, they realized they could have helped Gajendra, but they didn't help. So they had to pray to the Lord for forgiveness. Their egos got in the way because Gajendra didn't pray to them. Even somebody doesn't want our help. If we can make a difference, make a difference. That's actually our great fortune If we can help somebody, even one person, that's our great, great, great fortune. Don't be on the sideline.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Even in Bhagavad Gita, I think it's in chapter 12, no, 11 or 12, I think, Krishna is saying, telling to Arjuna to kill all those on the battlefield because Bhishma, Dev, and Drona didn't do anything when Draupadi was being disrobed. So
That's right.
kill them. It is written in Bhagavad Gita. That is written in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, that's right. Indeed. Okay, so the chapter is entitled Lord Shiva Saves the Universe by Drinking Poison. Yes, Riyansh?
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I think Krishna, the actual Bhagavad Gita starts from 2.11. Asocchayanana vochasto prajnavadam shabhasase katasam nagatasam sha nanu sochanti pandita.
Very nice. You learned it, huh? Fantastic. No, Bhagavad Gita starts from chapter 1, verse 1. Because if those questions were not asked by Arjun, there would be no Gita. Yeah. So Gita starts.
Prabhuji, but the actual Bhagavad Gita starts from second chapter.
No, believe me, Riyansh. Believe me, Riyansh. Starts from chapter 1. That's the most important chapter in the whole of the Bhagavad Gita.
No, Prabhuji.
Yes, I'm telling you. That's why we're going through it in the youth presentations so detailed. It's the most important chapter because there Arjun is sharing his difficulty, his problem with Krishna. And those problems are the problems that we have as well, you see? Because we have those same problems. And that's why this is chapter 1 is so important. Arjuna is explaining our problems to Krishna. And then Krishna, from chapter 2, he starts answering them. So that's why chapter 1 is so important. Is that okay, Riyansh?
Okay, Prabhuji. Means Arjuna surrenders from 2.7.
Yeah, that's a different matter. Then Krishna is allowed to speak. So that's important as well. Anyway, be ready for this Sunday, okay, young man? So, Lord Shiva saves the universe by drinking poison. The Supreme Lord, appearing as a tortoise, he came as a tortoise. Kurma. Dove deep into the ocean to carry this Mandara mountain on his back. So this is a summary of the chapter. The churning of the ocean produced poison, Kalakuta. Everyone feared this poison, but Lord Shiva satisfied them by drinking it. This is the glory of Shiva. Now we're going to see the most amazing pastime. That's coming here. With the understanding that when the nectar was generated from the churning, they would share it equally. The demigods and demons brought Vasuki to be used as a rope for the churning road, promising him a share of the nectar. So they had to pay him. It's a tough job, this one. Initially, the demigods held the mouth of the snake, but the demons protested that the tail is inauspicious. This was really clever work by the Lord, actually. Because the demons were thinking, hey, why have we got the tail end of the snake? We should hold the other end, the mouth. So the expert arrangement of the Lord didn't say anything. Yes, he said, we agree with you. If you like to hold the mouth, go ahead. So this was Lord Ajita, very kindly allowed the demons, but actually that was a disadvantage for the demons, as we'll see. The demons then held the snake near the mouth, whereas the demigods held the tail of the great snake, led by Lord Ajita. So there's two incarnations here. There's the Kurma and there's Ajita. And we're going to see more. And it'll be really interesting interaction, right, between
All of them.
What would they say to each other? Hey, Hare Krishna, Kurma. Hare Krishna, Ajita. Get on with it. Then with great endeavor, they began pulling the snake in both directions. So this is the churning. Because the churning road, the Mandara mountain was very heavy and was not held by any support in the water. So there was nothing underneath. So it sank into the ocean and everybody was finished. The prowess of both the demons and the demigods. You can just imagine this heavy mountain. They're trying to churn it, but there's no support. So it fell down. Supreme Lord then appeared in the form of a tortoise and supported Mandara mountain on his back. The churning started again. This must have been the most incredible sight in the whole universe. The Lord coming underneath the mountain. And the rolling of the mountain scratched the Lord's body. And how big was the Lord's body? 800,000 miles, 100,000 yojanas. This is incredible. 800,000 miles was the body of the Lord, the turtle,
That's a shell.
Kurma, the shell. And he was enjoying being scratched. This is the ultimate itch. He had the ultimate itch, which was being scratched. There's Lord Ajita with the demigods. There's the demons with Vasuki's head. There's Kurma here, there's Ajita here, and there's another Lord who comes to steady the mountain. To steady, there's 3 incarnations, 1, 2, 3. And then there's more. Thereafter, Lord Vishnu entered the demons. So this is the 4th incarnation. As the quality of passion, the demigods as the quality of goodness, and Vasuki as the quality of ignorance, to encourage them and increase the various types of strength and energy. The Lord then appeared on the summit of Mandara mountain. That's the Lord here. And held the mountain with one hand. From thousands of Vasuki's mouths, smoke and blazing fire came out, which affected the demons especially. Even the demigods became affected by the smoke. However, by the grace of the Lord, clouds appeared on the sea, poured torrents of rain, and breezes blew, giving the demigods relief. So, despite the efforts of the demigods and the demons, when nectar did not come out of the ocean of milk, the Supreme Lord Ajita personally began to churn the ocean. So he was there. He's there. There he is. So again, the Lord, this ocean was such an amazing pastime. Nobody could really churn it, only the Lord. He was the backbone, he was at the top, he was also helping with the churning itself. He was also the strength of the demons, the demigods, and Vasuki. So you can see it's a phenomenal task. With his strong, glorious arms, which award fearlessness throughout the universe, he took hold of Vasuki and began churning the ocean. The entire ocean became turbulent, and even large aquatic animals like whales came to the surface. At first, the ocean produced a fiercely dangerous poison called alahal. So it's 2 different names. Huh? I must have got that wrong, actually. The fearful demigods took shelter of Lord Shiva. Now, Vishnu could have easily rectified the situation created by this poison, but he wanted to give the credit to his dear devotee, Lord Shiva, who later drank all the poison and kept it in his neck. So Lord Vishnu did not take action at that point. This was the glory of Lord Vishnu. So what is the position of Vishnu and Shiva? So many times this is asked. So let's have a little look at this. Lord Vishnu acts Yes, Rianch.
Prabhuji, one time you mentioned Kalakutta, second time you mentioned Hala Hala, means Shiva drinks 2 types of poisons.
No, I think it might be just a different name for, there might be 2 different names. Yeah, good question.
It's the same poison.
Yeah, it's the same poison.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
It is the same poison, but the way it came out is hala hala. You know, it makes kind of bubble and it burst out.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. And we don't want to be around when this poison is around, eh? Lord Vishnu acts through Lord Shiva in the creation of the material world. So Shiva acts on behalf of Vishnu. And Lord Krishna says in 14.4 in Bhagavad Gita, he is the father of all jivas. Aham bija pada pita. This refers to actions performed by Lord Vishnu through Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is very instrumental. Lord Vishnu is always unattached to material activities. So Vishnu has nothing to do with material activities. Right? And when material activities are to be performed, Lord Vishnu performs them through Shiva. Shiva is therefore worshipped on the same level as Vishnu. When Vishnu is untouched by external energy, he is Lord Vishnu. But when he is in touch with this external energy, he appears in his feature as Shiva. So this is an important thing to understand. The mathematical formula is very simple. Vishnu plus Maya or material world equals Shiva. That's the mathematical equation. It's very easy to misunderstand that. And that's why there's so much confusion within Sanatana Dharma, that Shiva and Vishnu are the same. In one sense, they are the same, but in another sense, they're not. When Krishna wants to touch this world, he transforms into Shiva. The Prajapatis, seeing no one else to save them, approached Lord Shiva and offered him prayers. "O greatest of the demigods, Mahadev, please save us from this fiery poison, which is spreading all over the 3 worlds. Those who are advanced in spiritual consciousness surrender unto you. Therefore, you are the cause of mitigating their distress." Lord Shiva is called Ashutosh because he is pleased if one is a devotee. O Lord, they continue the prayers. The 5 important Vedic mantras are represented by your 5 faces, from which the 38 most celebrated Vedic mantras have been generated. Your Lordship being celebrated as Lord Shiva is self-illuminated, is exalted, self-satisfied person who preach to the entire world. Think of your lotus feet constantly within their hearts. So this is a really wonderful glorification of the greatest Vaishnav. However, ignorant people cannot understand your activities. Even Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot understand your position, for you are beyond the moving and non-moving creation. When Lord Shiva saw, this is the glory of Lord Shiva, the living entities were very disturbed by the poison, which was spreading everywhere. He became very compassionate. He spoke to his wife, Bhavani, Parvati. When one performs benevolent activities for others, Lord Hari is very pleased. So this is the point. See, this is the point. Lord Shiva is such an important devotee. He always wants to please the Lord. And he always wants to help others. What a mood. Therefore, let me drink this poison, for all the living entities may thus become happy because of me. He's willing to sacrifice himself for everybody else. This is the glory of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he easily agreed to drink all the poison generated by the churning. The goddess Durga Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, was not at all disturbed when Lord Shiva agreed to drink the poison, for she knew Lord Shiva's prowess. Indeed, she expressed her pleasure at this agreement. The divine couple, really extraordinary. Lord Shiva gathered the devastating poison, which was everywhere. He took it in his hands and drank it. After he drank the poison, his neck became bluish. And he's got a special name, hasn't he? Because of that. Anybody know that name?
Neelakanta.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Which
He's
became
always fast, isn't he?
a small so this is his ornament. This is his ornament. He's glorified by this bluish neck. A small quantity of the poison dropped from his hands to the ground, and it is because of that poison, poisonous snakes and scorpions and
Mosquitoes also will come.
mosquitoes, other poisonous things in this world. There you go.
Prabhuji, that's why in our home I have so many mosquitoes. Because one drop fell in my home, that's why all the mosquitoes came there.
One drop came into your home specifically. Oh dear. So this is the glory. Such a glorious, glorious glory.
There is snakes also, Prabhuji, down.
Yeah. Serpents, snakes, scorpions.
Scorpions.
Mm.
That's why when we go to the beach, we see scorpions, because they're also one of them. Because here is also a beach, that's why.
Indeed.
And I also listened to a lecture, and it was saying that poison is called Wish, and he's always chanting the name of Ram. So again, the poison took rest, which is Vishram, in his throat, because he's always chanting the name of Lord Ram.
Nice. Very nice. Any questions, any comments?
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
There's a doubt.
Yes, go on, Riyansh. What's your doubt?
Prabhuji, I heard something that when Sukadeva Goswami would tell Radha name, do he got ecstasy? Because I heard this many times.
Got what?
When Sukadeva Goswami would tell Radha's name, he was very addicted to that.
Yeah, that's correct. He didn't say it actually.
But Radha do not come in any cantos of
Yeah, but actually Radha is right the way through the Bhagavatam. From the first word until the last word. Because of bhakti.
Yeah.
And within word also.
Indeed. She's everywhere in the Bhagavatam. Naniben? Yes.
It's Shiva with his 5 faces, was it?
Yeah. This is what he says here. 5 faces. Yeah. Interesting.
I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either.
No.
I haven't either. Yeah.
Guruji,
Good point. Good point.
Guruji, there is someone on the mountain.
Yeah, that's Vishnu.
That's Vishnu.
He's in many different places.
His name was what?
Hari. As Lord Hari.
He's balancing.
He's balancing the mountain. He comes many times in this one pastime. He's there.
And
5.
he'll come out as Mohini.
Mohini as well. Yeah.
So I think there's about
Yes,
4,
Prabhuji,
5,
I heard the story.
Yeah.
5 incarnations at once.
Oh, Naliman, I just Googled it, and yeah, there are pictures with 5 faces of Lord Shiva. Very interesting.
Okay, I will see it later. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting. I'll add it into the presentation.
Prabhuji, if you have the 5 heads of Lord Shiva, I want to see.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, good.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
anybody- Yes.
The Lord has like 5, 6 or 7 incarnation in this pastime. He appears like Vishnu, Kurma, Ajita, Dhanvantri, Mohini.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Prabhuji, very confusing. Who is there? Who is there? Who is not there? That is all confusing because of many Vishnus are there.
Many Vishnus are there. But it's not too confusing. It's very interesting.
Mm.
Let me just see if I've got some. I think
Yes, Prabhuji.
let me just see if I've got it.
This is
Here you go.
Vahini and then
Here you go.
Dhanvantari.
You got
5. Yeah.
6 in total, right? You
6,
got
yeah.
Kurma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the 1,000-armed Vishnu
On top. Yeah.
on top of the Mandara mountain. That's number 2. Ajita, he's helping. And then Vishnu enters into the demons, the demigods, and Vasuki.
Passion. Quality of passion.
Yeah, he enters into that. He's not, but he enters to give them the strength.
Prabhuji, why demons are very bad? We have to not give strength to them.
Somebody's got to be bad, eh? Otherwise, life would be a bit boring in the material world. And then you got Dhanvantari, the Lord of Medicine, and then Mohini. So 6 of them are in this. This is such a phenomenal pastime. Such an amazing pastime. Okay, so let's go to the lessons. Okay. Oops. Indulekamaji.
Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Lesson from Canto 8, Chapter 1. If we want to listen to the pastimes of the Lord to perfect this human life, we should inquire submissively from a bona fide spiritual master and carry out their instructions dutifully. Chapter 2. We are all living in the delusion that our wealth and family members will save us at the time of danger. But actually, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead can rescue us at all times. Chapter 3. Our ultimate goal of life is to understand that we are all caught up by the eternal time and we may die at any moment. So we should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can save us from the struggle of this material world. Chapter 4, the curses of great personalities should be accepted as blessings in disguise because at the end, the outcome are very beneficial. Chapter 5, in this material world, possessing too much wealth is risky because one may become puffed up and may not care about others. Thus, one may commit offenses and may fall down. Hare Krishna.
Very good. The only one I would maybe just a little worded differently. We don't want too many curses, right? Number 4. I know what you're saying. Curses of great. If we do get cursed, we accept as a blessing. But
Okay.
But we don't really want to get cursed, right?
Okay.
But yeah,
We do get it often, Prabhuji, don't worry.
Yeah,
okay, I'll
that's
change
true.
that one.
It's very true, very true. Yes, Madhusun Prabhu.
Jai Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when this is a battle between the demigods and the demons, and Rianj, asks about why there are demons. And, there's all from Prabhupada in the purport explained from time immemorial, there's always people who are on the side of God, and then there are on the side of not on the side of God. So like godless and God. So devotees are always more concerned about accepting everything that's God's, Krishna's instructions and his property, and want to respect it and help others and all that. But just like, there are those who will always be against God, and they want to speculate, and they want to sort of say everything happens by accident and we don't accept. Even this churning of the ocean, the demigods knew this is Lord's plan and they take it like that. But the demons were thinking, this is going to come out good, but it's not arrangement of God or anything. It just so happens that by accident now demigods are in this situation. So they're depending on their own prowess, their thinking, their own ego, their own strength, and they think everything is going to happen by their own strength, and that's why demigods are weak and will take over the nectar and all that. So yeah, these instructions are quite good. So sometimes time and circumstances may not be so favorable. And the Supreme Lord even advises the demigods. So we've read that, how even Vishnu and Krishna advises the demigods. Sometimes just call it a truce, make peace. And, you are in that situation. The time is not so favorable on your side now. At the moment, just call it a peace, So it says in the verse that, all demigods, fulfilling one's own interest is so important, and that one may even have to make a truce with one's enemies. For the sake of one's self-interest, one has to act according to the logic of the snake and the mouse. So I don't know, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that, this logic of the snake and the mouse, where the snake and the mouse were both trapped in a basket, and they were both trapped in there. So the snake wants to eat the mouse, but then he thought, if I eat the mouse, I'm still going to be trapped in this basket. So he said, I better call it a truce, make peace with the mouse, and be friendly, and just work out a plan. So he told the mouse, he said, oh, okay, why don't you make a hole in the basket so we can both escape? So they do that, and obviously the snake wants to then think that, oh, as soon as he makes the hole, I'll eat the mouse. But the mouse thinks that, as soon as I make the hole, I'm going to run like anything. So mouse can run. So it depends on who wins in the end. But that's the logic sometimes you have to use, make peace, My dear demigods, with patience and peace, everything can be done. But if one is agitated by anger, the goal is not achieved. Therefore, whatever the demons ask, agree to their proposal. So, in this situation, the demigods have had to give in, and whatever the demigods say, okay, agree, And all over the universe, there are two parties. It's said here, Prabhupada explains it. So there's a Vishnu party, or the God-conscious party, and the godless party. The godless party is never happy or victorious, but the God-conscious party is always happy and victorious. So in the end, the God-conscious party always comes out winning in the end. And that's why Prabhupada said this Krishna consciousness movement, those who are in favor of that, they are God-conscious. There's always be those who will be opposing and making the plans against all that. So in chapter 7, in this churning of the milk ocean, we should understand the choices made by the demigods and the demons in choosing to hold the mouth or the tail end of Vasuki, the serpent. The demons chose the mouth and the demigods chose the tail. It's the same thing like, the Arjuna and the Duryodhana went to Krishna, and Duryodhana sat at the head of Krishna. He said, why should I want to go and sit at the feet of someone? Their ego is always like, why should I bow down to anyone? So he sat at the head, and then Arjuna went and he just, at the lotus feet of Krishna. Devotees always want to be there, at the lotus feet of Krishna, and appreciate the personality and surrender like that. So Arjuna obviously, came out victorious because he got Krishna on his side then. But Duryodhana was proud. I'm got Krishna's army, and everything. So, in this journey, that's how the demigods chose the tail end, and the demons chose the mouth end. Srila Prabhupada clarifies more in the purport that the Daityas must always do the opposite of the demigods. So this godless party will always do opposite to whatever the Lord wants. That is their nature. We have actually seen this in relation to our Krishna conscious movement. We are advocating cow protection and encouraging people to drink more milk and eat palatable preparations made of milk. But the demons, just to protest such proposals, are claiming that they are advanced in scientific knowledge, as described here by the words Swadhyaya Shruta Sampana. they say that according to their scientific way, they have discovered that milk is dangerous and that the beef is obtained by killing cows is more nutritious. This is the way they think, no matter what you plan and what you propose, they'll always want to oppose. So that's the nature. That's how, we see in the material world as a world of duality. So we have to sometimes face it, but we have to choose the right side. And, with our intelligence, we have chosen, we stay on the Lord's side. By Lord Chaitanya's mercy, we stay chanting Krishna's mantra. The mantra is very important because it delivers. That's the word of anything that Lord says is a mantra, really. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Very good. Hare Krishna. So let's go to the Nishinga Kavach. And tomorrow we'll try to do chapters 8 and 9. I need to get chapter 9 sorted. So hopefully I'll be ready. Thank you so much.